From our system pages, let's exit here and go back to our pages. Select the CMS, select pages, and then we go to our home page and click here on edit. And we're going to work with a feature that's really exclusive to Brizy, something they brought in from day one. Very nice to work with, and that is the block slider. In fact, this template that we have loaded works with a block slider from the get-go. And we deleted something over here, I'm not sure, cannot remember, but this one over here is a block slider. You see I have these arrows to the left and the right, and you've seen this on sites, a carousel or a slider, but those are not blocks. Those are elements within a section or a block. So there's a slight difference here. And this comes in Brizy Cloud free, which is usually a pro feature in most other builders, but you find this in Brizy Cloud free. This is an entire block. Does Brizy have a slider for just a section within a block? The answer is yes, but that is a pro feature. So let's quickly have a look at what a block slider is. And the best way for you to understand that is for me to build it for you from scratch. Let's go to the very bottom, click on add a new block, create your own, and we'll do a little testimonial, which is a very standard component on any website. I will have an image of the person who's giving the testimonial, then some text, and then their name. So that tells us we need three elements: image, text, and text. Click on the plus to bring in the features that we will be using. Click drag an image. Then I'll grab text, just scroll down here. Don't worry about the size at this moment, drop it there. And this is how I usually build out a site, because I will have a little bit of a wireframe on a piece of paper that I know what I want to do, or I will use something as a reference as to what I want to do. And then I bring in all my elements from the beginning. Let's bring in the image first. Click on the image to activate it. Then go to the left and click here on the upload for the image. I'll grab this one here. Some random images from way back. To interact with the image, because it's way too small, you simply click on the image and you will see that these little dots appear. These are the handles that will allow you to resize the image. To uniformly resize it to its aspect ratio, grab the handle in the corner and then hold it and drag it in, and you see, there we go, looking much, much better. And you can also go here to the settings where you have control over the width, put it on percentage or pixels, and height. Because at this moment, I really don't care how beautiful it looks. I'm just going to go for this size. And then we'll add some text here. And the first thing I will do is align the text. And the text that comes in here by default is dummy text. So I don't really have a quote to add here, so I'll bring in random text. And for that, we bring in our random text generator, which is loremipsum.io. I'll go to the new tab and type in loremipsum.io and grab text from our good friend, Lorem Ipsum. Let's grab a nice little paragraph here, like so. Right-click and copy. And now we're going to run into something that is pretty annoying in Brizy. Let's go back to Brizy. Triple-click to select all the text, or highlight it all with Control-Command-A. And now we're going to paste it. So that is a Control-V or a Command-V. And I get this. Now what Brizy does, it takes the formatting of this page and it copies it and it pastes it. And we definitely don't want that. We want it to be the text as we set it up here. Unfortunately, removing this is a major headache. This little annoyance has been there in Brizy from day one. And lo and behold, they've not really given us a clear formatting option. A clear formatting option is usually a little option that takes all of the colors and styling applied, and it takes it away in one go and brings it back to maybe a default paragraph setting. Even if I go here to T, you will see it is set to paragraph. So those colors are applied, not what I want. The only way to sidestep this is you have to open an editor like Word or Notepad or any kind of default little text thingy that you can do that. What I will do is I will open Notepad. Let me see, where is my Notepad? So search for Notepad. And then when you bring the text from Lorem Ipsum, I'll paste it here, Control-Command-V. And then all you do is select it again, Control-A, Control-C for copy, and Command-A, Command-C. And now Unfortunately, I've already ruined the formatting of this text element. I'll need to delete this text element and bring in a new one. Yep. So be cognizant of that. It can be very annoying, but there is a workaround. Select all the text again. I'll triple click and then Control V, Command V, and there goes my text. Center align it again. I'll add space here on the left and right. I'll do that with padding, and that is done here through the settings and then styling. The padding is currently linked, so we first delink all the sides, otherwise we'll be adding padding to the top and the bottom as well. We only want to add this to the right and then this one to the left. And I'll put it on percentage because that makes it very easy. I know I can add like 15% on the right and the left, and that will bring in the text closer and add some negative space there for us on the sides. You see, limiting it looks much more fancier. This one, I'll triple click to select it and I'll call her Samantha Davies. We'll style this a little bit differently. Let's go to the color, make it darker. And let's put her typography weight here on bold and then center align it. Now we have a very nice testimonial section. Let me just add a little bit of padding at the top. Click, hold, and drag there to 100. Let's do the same for the bottom. Let's get to 100 there. There we go. Let's change the background because currently the background of these two sections are similar. So I'll select the block and then go to colors. Let's put it on this light deal. Now we have a much better idea of how this testimonial look. What we want to achieve now is a second and a third testimonial with the block slider. To do that, you go to the block, settings all the way to the left, and you will see the option here, make it a slider. Once you select this toggle, what Brizy is going to do is turn this block, copy the same block a few times, and turn it into a slider. And you will see all the magic happens as I click on it. Voila! Now we have two slides, and we know that by these little dots at the bottom. The slide you are busy editing is the one that is filled in. So if we want to go to the second slide, select the dot. Let's click on the image, and now we replace this image. Delete it, click upload. We bring in the next one. Nice. And we'll just change her name. I'm not going to change the quote. We'll call her Beatrice Deluce. Now let's cycle through. That's very nice. But we want the third one. And the third one is done by going to the block settings up here. And then now you have the option to duplicate it. That will give you another slide. Make sure that the order in which you want these slides to appear, that you select it properly. So if I want to add this one at the end, make sure you first select the last dot and then click on copy. It will add that third one. If you select it, you will see Beatrice. She is the one that has been cloned. Click on Beatrice because we don't approve of cloning. And then we go to image and we select this guy. And I think that's actually a cool name. Select his text and we call him this guy. Now we have 3 testimonials in a block slider. Remember, that's very important to remember. It's the entire block that is sliding. It's not the content in the block, it's the entire block. So you can slide and slide and slide. And there's a lot to this block slider. Let's put it on automatic slide, which will allow it to transition by itself without your user needing to click on the dots or the navigation arrows. Again, we access the options here at the block slider options. Go to the left and you will see now the slider has been activated. Select slider and we have 3 options here. First is the autoplay I mentioned. Under that, the dots navigation, and you can switch it off. If you don't want dots navigation there, you take it away. You can also have diamonds and you can have squares, but usually we go for the little dots. And then the arrows on the side, you can also remove that and you have a few others as well. I'll leave in all of that, but we'll activate autoplay and you will see now the speed is the amount of time. I don't think this is actually speed. I think this is more the duration of the slide, not the transition. So 3 seconds mean that every slide will display for 3 seconds and then it will transition to the next one. Let's reduce this to 2 seconds so that we can view it on the front end to see how it works. Click outside and select on Update. Preview, select here. And scroll all the way to the bottom so that we can have a look at our block slider. Slow, and here we go. And this guy and Samantha Davies. That was very interesting. I observed that the Beatrice Deluce was the one that had appeared at the beginning. You've also noticed that as I hover over it with my cursor, it stops scrolling. And that's a standard feature. Interesting though that we don't have an option to turn that on or off. It's automatically applied. Many sliders usually have an option to pause on hover. I didn't see that within the Bloxy slider. Let's just go and check. You know, new things pop up all the time. It could be that I've missed it. Slider, no hover on or no pause on hover. That is the block slider. There's actually a little bit more here. And there's a few snags here and there because with the block slider, you really need to make sure that you also make it look good on mobile and tablet devices before you actually clone the slides. Because if you don't, every slide you will need to go and change them individually in your tablet and mobile devices. We'll do that in the tips and a short video for you here on Learn Brizy Cloud. But there you go. This is a great way to add a slider to your site, especially if you have a showcase maybe of images or in this case a testimonial.